All right, what's up, everybody? What's up, YouTube? All right, so today we have our yellow hybrid deck profile with Rapidmon in it, with our buddy Moonpie, who is going to help us go through it because he's been running a really cool yellow hybrid deck with Rapidmon, which is extremely annoying. If you played against it, I'm sure you know. But Moonpie, why don't you go ahead and give us the rundown on this deck?
Alrighty, thank you, Rampy. So, yeah, here, yellow hybrid with Rapidmon, like you said. We're gonna start off eggs, and then we'll kind of get into the deck from there. So this is very controversy, but I play the 4 Upamons.
4 of the
Um,
Upamons for the draw power.
for the draw power. Now,
Nice.
obviously, most people know this is 3 or lower. You get to draw. Um, but I also play the one of Upamon.
You know, Cubemon's actually been going up in price lately. It used to be super cheap, but now it looks like people are, they're looking to see if it's doing something, and it might be. It might be doing something.
It might be.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
this is the biggest where you get to have fun with the beginning of your deck. You can run 4 of these because they're really good early game. You can run 4 of these and 1 of these, or you can do a combo where you run 3 and 2, or you can run 3 and 2 of these. I find that this ratio for me, the way I play, this works out really well. Um, and this is like how I like my egg setup. So that's the way we run it.
Perfect. Let's move on to our level threes.
We want to go level threes. I was gonna start actually with the tamers, but I can
Oh,
start
you
with.
could do a
I don't.
tamers.
I
Yeah,
don't
let's do
have
tamers.
level threes in this deck.
Oh, that's right. That's right. This man
my
does
level
not run level
threes.
threes. I said level
My
threes
level
like he
threes.
runs any. That was my mistake. No, go ahead. Go with the next part.
My level threes are actually my tamers.
Tamers that act as
So
level threes. Yes.
this is pretty standard in a sense. So you got your 4 Zoes,
Mandatory.
um, mandatory. I've seen and tried doing 3 myself. It's just 4 is just too good. 4 is too good.
Force too good.
Um,
And in addition to that, you get to look at your security, which is huge. Knowing what's in security is a big part of the strategy.
Another one that I play 4 of is TK. Again, um, this deck, as you see as we go through the deck, you're going to notice, as you heard, I don't play level 3s in this deck. These are your level 3s, so you need to make sure you get your hybrids out of your security like as much as possible if they're in there. So Zoe's, TKs, get your hybrids out of your security, load it up with all your options, and that's what these are for. So that's a
Exactly.
mandatory 4 and 4.
Yeah. So if there are no level threes in this deck, that means your Zoe and your TK are gonna fish everything that you don't want in security. That's what leads it to be a bit of a security control situation. And also knowing what's in there is huge. You could have some stuff that helps you, right?
Oh, for sure. Knowing your security is a very, very positive note. It can change the way you play, for
Absolutely.
sure.
Huge advantage.
Another 4 of is Cody. Insane in this deck, because if you have something in raising and you bring it up at the beginning of the turn, this still procs. You still get your extra memory. So if we have our memory tamer on board and we have a Cody, you're starting off with 4 memory, which is huge. Absolutely huge to have 4 memory in a turn. And if they stack, so if you have 3 of these guys out, you're gonna start a turn with 6 memory with this guy right
With
here.
just a couple of them out. Absolutely.
And then obviously we also playing because if we swing with the Rapidmon, you tap this and deal 2K. So
Yeah.
when Rapidmon comes out, he has his ability. This triggers with it. So it's just all around a really good 4 of card.
It does
In this
combo with
deck.
Rapid really well because you can actually swing into even bigger Digimon with Cody out there with Rapidmon. Rapidmon's not a high DP Digimon, so having Cody lets you swing over some things for sure.
So there's your last 4 of, and then I play one more Tamer, and I play the one of the TK and Kari.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if you're not playing at least 1 copy of this card, you're doing it wrong. Not only can you tap it and do an additional 1,000 DP, obviously if you have less security, you're gonna gain 2. So in a sense, which is a legit field that I've had many times, is you have a TK on board, and Kari, and then you have a TK and a Cody, and you have less memory. So you go to 3, 4, 5, 6, And then just imagine having multiple of these on board. Everything just stacks up. There's been games where I've had 7 memory to start the turn because of this 1 TK.
Yep.
So
I know it.
absolutely busted.
And I know it. I played Moonpie enough to know that he wants you to swing first. He wants it so he can take advantage of the memory from then on.
So that is the Tamer lineup, AK level 3s of the deck.
Absolutely.
All right, moving on to the level 4s. And a level 4s is very standard. You're only playing the hybrids.
Kazi and Sepha.
Well, not only, but
But definitely,
Because-
it's the full set, because you gotta have them off the
Oh.
tamers.
so you're playing your hybrid.
You're playing your hybrid package, yeah.
Your standard hybrid package. Yeah, I mean, never play less. I don't know why. This is not even up for debate.
Yeah, just play them. Just play them. Jet Sylphie's broken. Recovery 1 every time. For 1? Yeah.
And actually, Ramby, I did lie to you. I forgot because we were playing the Rapidmon. I'm so used
Patamon.
to
Yeah, it's Patamon. Of course. I was
Yeah.
gonna say that too. It's like, of course you play a level 3. It's Patamon. The only
So,
one that
I
matters.
do play a level 3. The only one that really matters.
Yeah.
Is this guy right here.
Patamon.
But we do play 2 extras.
Salads.
Salamons.
Yes.
And what's a really good combo with this is why I play the Salamons, is if you have the Upamon and you have the Salamon and you're at 3 or less, you're gonna swing, you're gonna draw, this is gonna die, and you're gonna recover.
Yeah.
Like
So you
that's
recover and draw.
That's the in a sense great play with this. No more than 2. You could even probably play something else. There's just not many good yellow rookies, to be honest.
What do you think of the people who are playing Cutemon to keep Digimon from reducing play cost?
I can see it because the mirror match would be great playing against the mirror match. But there's not too much of that. I mean, you do have it in Mastamon with the Gato too, so you do stop that. And I guess if you did decide to play it, it's not terrible because it also stops the reducing. Oh no, because that's play cost actually. So it doesn't stop the green guy in Imperadrill. So you
Either
are
way,
acceptable to that
Yeah.
because it reduces its play cost and not its Digi-Evolution cost.
Yeah.
So these are interchangeable, I guess, with Cutemon, but I'd rather have the recovery.
You'd rather have that option and the draw. Recovery and draw is pretty solid, I'd say.
Obviously the main bad boy of the deck, the other level 4s, is this.
Or Rapids.
Pairing up with the Patamons are just absolutely insane. Paired up with the Codys, so your typical play is you're gonna raise this up.
Raise the Patamon up, yep. Then go into
and
Rapid.
Then you're gonna go into Rapidmon. If you kill someone or kill a Digimon on your opponents, then this only costs 3. But if you have a Cody, it doesn't even matter because it's 4 costs and you go to 0. And then if you attack with this into the Digimon, if it's a big one, you could tap the Cody to do another 2k. You could attack into the security and do the 2k, and it might kill that Digimon, and then that's even better. And then if it dies, you're just going right back into another Patamon. I think this card is just absolutely busted, and that's why we also play so many Tamers, because he suspends with having Tamers. So having those Tamers on board and going into the Rapidmon is just literally insanity.
Yeah. So just to be clear, it suspends a Digimon for each Tamer out there. And if your opponent just checked into 2 or 3 Tamers in security, everything on their side is going to suspend. And Rapidmon can swing, kill something that's been DP reduced, and he can take out a big boy that way.
Right. So if you, like I said, if someone did go wide on you, like Imperial sometimes goes 4 or 5 wide, and you have 4 or 5 Tamers and you bring this out, it suspends their whole board, which is nasty. And then, like Rampy said, 3 of them get minus 5k. Good chance that you're killing something if they have a wide board. And if not, you have Cody's as backups, potentially your TK as a backup. It's just, it's absolutely just insanity. All right, from there, we play 2 Ophanimons, fall down modes, as 2 level 6s and the only 2 level 6s in this deck. It's a 4 cost, super broken. When you go on top of a yellow, you get to recover, which is obviously the main gist of the deck. So you can go right into a jet, into another one of these, and recovering twice in one turn, which is absolutely crazy. And then if this guy dies, you get to bring back a level 4. So you can bring back your Kazis, your Zephs, your Rapids if you need to. You can bring back your Patamons to go into a Rapid next turn. You can bring back your Salamons if you're low on security already. And then you need to maybe get a check next turn with the Salamons. Like, it just brings it back. It's free. Potentially going back into another Rapidmon that next turn. So it's crazy. Love that card in it. And then we also play 2 Susano. Some people play 1. I promise you 2 is needed. Because sometimes you have to go on top of this. And then you don't get his ability of putting 10 back into the deck. You have to run 2 of these. I'm telling you, you have to run 2. This is broken. You get 10 of these hybrids or this. I mean, look how many you're playing. That's the whole deck. Come on. That's
Hybrids and Tamers.
Right,
Hybrids and Tamers. Susano is going to come out. Susano's coming out, taking something with it, and it applies huge pressure on your opponent. Not only that, but sometimes Imperial Dramon runs out of cards pretty easily, especially against decks that recover a lot. And if you're in a situation where you just need to put some cards back in your deck, Susano can do that and just outlast your opponent. And not that it's going to happen much, but it can.
This is a problem, like Granby said. They're going to try to get rid of this immediately when it goes on board. And the other great thing is, like I said, I have this on board. I have 2 Codys on board. And then I have a TK on board. Right there, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those 4 Tamers on board give you 7 to start your turn.
Yep.
Potentially.
If it's late game, you could potentially go into Susano without giving up your turn.
Without even giving up. And that's why I always say you might have to go over your level 6 instead of going into the, from your over a Tamer for the 10 in your grave, because you may not have it. So, options, obviously, come on now.
Cover, reinforcing, yeah.
You shouldn't be playing Digimon, I feel like.
I mean, you'd play more. You'd play more if you could.
Yes,
easy
for sure. Yeah. Obviously, it's limited for a reason.
It's limited for a reason.
And then besides that, we play a 3-of package of the Yellow Men Boost. Consistency is everything in this format because there's no mulligans.
Exactly.
Consistency is everything. But now, going back on our Susano play. Oh, we played a memory boost. Oh, we also played this memory boost. We also have TKs. Oh, here's 5. It's so easy to get 7 memory in one turn in this deck to go into a Susano. Sometimes I turbo into Susano in this deck and just apply insane pressure on my opponent. It's you have so many options to have so much memory in this deck. It's crazy, and you can turbo right into that Susano. That's why I played 2 Susano, because I like to turbo into Susano early game sometimes and just go for straight pressure.
Absolutely. 3 security checks and none to ignore.
Now, I will say this, though. I was thinking about playing another level 6 like Serafi and stuff like that, because you get the, it's 3 costs instead of the 4. It gets +2 security checks as long as you have 3 or more. One of my favorite cards. This format, I just feel like it's too hard. It's only 10k. Rapidmon is 6k. He comes out, suspends it, deals 5k, and he can just run it over immediately. That's the only reason why I'm not playing it, and I'm going with the fall downs and not even a combo of each. It's because this card literally wrecks Serafimon, unfortunately. So you can't play the Serafis. You could always go down to 2 men boost. I would never go any less than 2. Or you can go 4 memory boost. I've seen many people do 2, 3, or 4. I think this is the most consistent option for me is the 3-of, and then obviously your 1-of. And then we play these bad boys.
The Wyvern's Breath.
Pretty self-explanatory.
Minus 15k on a Digimon. There's no Digimon out there that doesn't have 15. The only way they get around that is off a security check, is if they boost it quite a bit. And honestly, this deck deletes so much that they'll probably never get there. So, Wyvern's Breath, if you need it, it's there.
It is. It is. And then the last card, the new card, everyone's seen it, but it's a 4 of and a must in my opinion, is Eden's Javelin. The card is insane, especially in security. You draw a card, and then for every card in your hand, minus 1,000 for each card in your hand. In this deck, you always have a handful of cards. This card is insane. 4 of, insane.
There's nothing more terrible. Yeah, there's nothing more terrible than checking into it, letting your opponent draw a card, and then just watching your DP get reduced and killing something. It's insanity. It's terrible.
And let me tell you this: I've had this happen before, especially against like X Antibody, against other decks. They go, okay, I check, it's Eden's. I did minus 8K, and then they went from being at 15,000 or 18,000 down to 10,000, and then they swing and hit a Nafani the next card, and it kills it because they were DP reduced for the next check.
Oh, that happens.
This card is so good. That's why I think it's a 4 of. It's a must of 4 of. I play this. I draw it a lot, and I play it a lot. Just I make sure that my opponent can never see level 6s. I get rid of level 4s and 5s all day with this. It's a draw 1. You're more than likely giving your opponent only 3 memory, wiping their Digimon on board and making them restart.
And what's the cost? What's the cost on that card?
It is a 6 cost.
Option. 6 cost. We probably delete something, and it costs a lot less than a lot of cards. Like 8 cost is usually what you need.
And if you draw this early game, and it's not even that bad, because you might play a Tamer, and then your next turn your opponent plays like a Digimon, and then if you don't have the most consistent hand, and they have a small Digimon they throw out, you can just pass turn, give them your opponent the 3, draw that card, get rid of their Digimon, and just try to keep pushing on into getting into your Rapids and into your Hybrids.
Absolutely.
To me, if you wanted to play 3, you could maybe get away with it. I just don't know what you would want to really replace this with. Your only other option is you could take one of each of these out and go into Shines. Because those are obviously DP reductions, and they're level 6s, so you can have 2 more big guys. I don't think it's necessary for this specific build. I had seen a Shine build that works pretty well, where you do 3 of these, less Wyverns, but you also play Rise Gray and Shine Gray because you're trying to get the +1 security and the DP reduction off of it. I just don't think it's super necessary with the Rapidmons and the Wyverns and the Edens. You have so much DP reduction in this deck that I just don't think the Shines are necessary.
Absolutely. And one last note, if you do play against somebody who has like no DP reduction, for example, X Antibody or like a Machine Dramon in some cases, you got Susano. Susano can pop, destroy things.
Susano
can destroy something.
Good chance he might run over something.
Yeah.
He's big. He's 15K.
Yeah. So if you're worried about Breath of the Gods or things like that, Susano will just kill it, and not DP reduction. Yeah. So we got all the options available, especially with Susano. We're covering a lot of bases with this.
So
right.
We're covering it all. So that is the deck profile on the Rapidmon hybrid.
Hybrids. All right, man. Thank you so much, Moonpie. So we're going to go ahead and plug Moonpie stuff under this video. So if you want to check him out, he's a great player. He's done extremely well in regionals, locals. He wins everything. He's the luckiest man in the world, I call him. You should absolutely catch him playing. Moonpie, thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah, not a problem. Thanks, Ricky.
All right. Thanks, everybody. If you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure you do so, and we'll see you in the next video.
Hit that button.